Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into an idea that could completely flip the script on how we watch movies. We're talking about shifting from one single shared experience to something that's totally unique for every single person watching.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're watching a movie with family, maybe you just really can't stand gore or jump scares, and you're sitting there just wishing you had a remote that could magically skip the exact parts you don't want to see. And that feeling? It gets right to the heart of the issue. See, right now, movies are a one-size-fits-all deal. What the director made is what you get. But what if you could have your very own version, your own cut, tailored perfectly to you? Well, there's a fascinating concept that aims to do exactly that. So, what does the first step into a future like this even look like? Well, it's not some crazy, far-off science fiction. The starting point is actually a pretty simple, hands-on tool. Let's call it a smart content remote. The perfect way to think about it is like a digital Swiss Army knife for your movies. Instead of just one blade, imagine having a specific tool for every little thing you might want to do. A tool to snip out a gory scene, one to mute profanity, another to just fast forward through those super intense moments, and you're the one in control. So how would it work? In practice, it's actually a really simple four-step process. First, you load your movie file. Then, you load a small companion file, a tag file. From there, you just pick your filters, like no profanity or skip intense violence, and then you hit play. You're watching a version of the film that's been customized just for you. And the brain behind this whole thing? It's a surprisingly simple text file. Seriously. It's basically just a list that maps out the entire movie second by second. Each line has a timestamp, a quick description of the scene, and then a bunch of tags like violence or horror. This file is the roadmap, telling the player exactly what to do and when to do it. And you know, the real beauty of this first version is just how flexible it is. This isn't something that needs to be built by a massive company like Netflix or Disney to work. It could just be a simple little app on your desktop for your own movie files. Or maybe even a browser extension that just sits on top of the streaming services you already pay for. Okay, but that manual approach, that's just the beginning. This is where the whole idea takes a huge leap forward. We're moving from a simple tool to a truly intelligent platform, and it's all powered by AI. So, the biggest difference between where this starts and where it could go, it all comes down to automation. That first version needs a tag file that someone, a human, had to sit down and create. But the AI platform, it does all that heavy lifting itself, automatically analyzing and tagging the movie as you're watching it. And here's the real magic, real-time AI analysis. You could forget about that pre-made file. Just imagine AI models scanning the video, listening to the audio, and reading the subtitles while you watch. They'd catch everything on the fly, a curse word in the dialogue, a weapon appearing on screen, a scary theme, and tag it instantly. Okay, so what would this AI-powered future actually feel like when you're just sitting on your couch? Let's take a look at what a truly personalized movie night could become. You could basically build your very own viewing modes. You could have a family mode that automatically gets rid of all the profanity and skips the really graphic stuff. Or what about an anxiety-friendly mode that knows exactly which jump scares to remove for you? You set the rules, and the AI could skip, mute, or even just blur the scenes to match what you want. The ultimate vision is just captured so perfectly in this one line. An AI that is quietly editing the movie for you while you watch. It would be totally seamless, invisible, just adapting the film to your exact preferences, right there in the background. This just completely redefines what we mean by personalization. I mean, we're not talking about Netflix recommending a different movie for you to watch. We are talking about one single movie having a potentially infinite number of different versions, each one personalized right down to the individual scene. Having that level of control is, well, it's incredibly powerful. And that forces us to zoom out and ask a much, much bigger question about where a technology like this could ultimately lead. What does the future of watching things actually look like when it can be this personal? Look, the power to filter out anything and everything that makes us uncomfortable it's immense. But if our media becomes perfectly tailored to us, creating this totally frictionless, completely comfortable experience, what do we lose? What happens to the whole idea of a shared experience with others? What about artistic intent? And maybe most importantly, what about those challenging, uncomfortable ideas that are often the very things that help us grow?